So, tiny house talk. Everyone that knows me knows I am obsessed with tiny houses. I currently live in a big house. It's just me and my pit bull puppy, and the house is almost 1,300 square feet, which is way more than necessary. But despite that, I have managed to fill up a 3-bedroom house full of big giant antiques, armoires, bookshelves, wooden chests. I mean, I'm having a hard time letting go of the big stuff. Another thing I'm having a difficult time with on downsizing, wardrobe. Many tiny house women go through this, actually. It's not uncommon, especially when it comes to letting go of our shoes. And in my case, boots and sandals and all of it. In fact, right behind me, I have a closet here that's full of skirts. This is a skirt closet. So I have a closet designated just for skirts. That does not count my main closet in my master suite. Okay, so I'm excited to downsize, okay? But realistically, I'm not going to be able to do 86 square feet of tiny. I don't even want to do that. That sounds cute and fun, but it's not me, and it wouldn't really support my lifestyle, my interests, my hobbies. I do like to build furniture. I'm an artist by trade, and I also have a background in construction. And I love to design and build furniture, and I got my start back as a teenager with refinishing antiques. And along the way, I have built a number of pieces of furniture. I have refinished all kinds of things. I also like to take new furniture and make it look old and put antique hardware on it. So here's the deal. I've built these things, I've acquired this collection of stuff, and a lot of it's quite nice, okay? I've downsized, I purged out all kinds of stuff, I got rid of everything I didn't want, I have the creme de la creme now. But the stuff I got rid of is all tiny, you know? And, okay, like, I'll turn the camera around and show you one of the biggest things I have. And it's this oak armoire, okay? I don't know, you can't really appreciate the size here. Let's go out of the room and peek in that way. Okay, you can see where it is in relation to the ceiling. And it has 2 doors that open, okay? This is 4 feet across. So that's the biggest thing I have. Now, the nice thing with antiques, they do hold their value, so you can get your money back, and well-crafted antiques that are rare will even appreciate in value. So it's not like a loss, at least with antiques and fine wood furniture, it's more of an investment. But I'm attached to this stuff. So I've been going through this process, okay, where I'm serious about downsizing. I'm going to build my own tiny house. Like many tiny housers do, they tend to be creative people who build things. They tend to be do-it-yourselfers, including the women. In fact, with tiny house women, it's just striking to me how much I continue to see I have in common with them. Everything from their desire to construct, build, engineer, create. You're a little squeaking. I'll show you what's going on here. It's the flea, the infamous flea. It's really dirty. It used to be white. This is Wishbone's little flea. You can meet her if you haven't already. Dun dun dun. She's a woman now. She just got her period last month. And you know what? Her titties are looking big, and I'm afraid she might be pregnant. Oh, gosh. I didn't want to be a grandma. Not yet, anyway. I mean, I know when they menstruate, they're, like, she went from micro nipples to nipples. But her boobs are looking really full. I mean, but maybe know. But anyway, that's another thing. So, I'm doing tiny house. I have a tiny dog. She's a pit bull, but very miniature. I don't think she weighs much more than 25 pounds. Okay, so I'm attached to some of my stuff, but I need to press forward. I really need to think of the freedom I'm going to have, how much more simple my life will be without all of the clutter, okay? Not that I feel my house is cluttered. I'm OCD. I'm extremely organized and like a tidy place, but you know what I'm saying, like, I clearly have more than I need, okay? I mean, I know I don't need a cajillion pair of shoes, and I know I don't need a whole closet with just skirts. Right, you haven't even seen the dress closet yet. I mean, I got it bad, okay? And I also design fashion and I sew and things like that. I'm also seeing that with a lot of tiny housers. So, this is the thing, you know, and I keep working with all these different square foot measurements, crunching as small as I can go, and I'm really not sure how small I can go. I know I can do this comfortably at 700 square feet. Now, that is a significant downsize from almost 1,300 square feet. But I would like to be able to do tinier, and there was a time I did tiny, and I was happy, and I had studio apartments out in Southern California that were adorable, old, historical, craftsman-style places that were very efficient, very well designed. I did not feel cramped at all. I had everything I needed back then, my art supplies, my sewing machine. But I did not have a cajillion antiques at that time. I was just starting out, I was young, you know, I was in my early 20s, and now I'm twice that age. And I've acquired this stuff and all this and lived the American dream, paid off the big house. Okay, see, so I'm not downsizing because that's all I can afford. My house is paid for. I want to downsize because of the freedom and the simplicity and the beauty of that. I also badly need to be off the utility grid. Go get it! Because I have a burning desire to be as autonomous as possible with sovereignty and self-sustaining. It just seems like an amazing thing to do that would be very gratifying and fulfilling. And I have a burning desire to build and create things. Sweetie, I know you love your squeaky, but we're doing a tiny house video. I don't know what I'm saying. All I know is I really badly want to do the tiny house thing, and it'd be very fulfilling because there's just this primal thing in me to build my own shelter. I have always dreamt about building my own house just like I want from a little girl. And now the time has come where I can afford to do that. And I will have the funds to do pretty much whatever I want. But first I have to sell this house. So what I'm doing meanwhile to prepare myself, I'm basically educating myself on all of my options, right? And I'm pretty clear what they are at this point, and the problem is a lot of building code, permits, and the rules and regulations stand in the way of doing what a lot of us tiny housers want to do. In fact, they make it outright illegal in some cases, and anyone familiar with the tiny house movement knows what I'm talking about, and that's a different video. But I am finding ways to do this, so I'm learning the rules so I can find the creative loopholes, and that's going pretty well. So right now, I'm just kind of at this stalemate where I can't make any firm decisions regarding the size of my tiny house. I know what I want to do and how I want to do it, but the question is, how small can I go? I mean, and I don't want to, like, end up building a place bigger than necessary, you know? Yeah, so I've just been thinking a lot about stuff and how we get attached to things, you know, like they're people or something, and it's stuff, a lot of it's, well, not all of it's replaceable, but come on, a lot of it you could duplicate or make or find somewhere else. Very few things are like one of a kind or rare, you know? Okay, so that's where I'm at, and I'm going to give myself some pep talks about I'm not losing things and how I'm going to be gaining so much more, gaining more money, gaining more time. Look, a bigger place, because you have more stuff, just means more to maintain, more to clean, and that means time, and that takes away from other things you could be doing that are more enjoyable, like out there experiencing life, you know, instead of like at home cleaning still, you know. When I've cleaned this house from head to toe, and like wall to wall, and did the whole kind of spring cleaning kind of thing, so to speak, we're not just talking hours, okay? I have to bust it up over the course of days, so it's just not overwhelming like where you're just at it all day, you know, but you can easily spend hours at a time and do this a few days back to back, and I mean, just sweeping the whole place is one thing. That's not even mopping. That's not even dusting, you know? And then the more stuff and rooms you have, is more can go wrong, and those kind of things take a lot of money to build, because there's just more stuff, more light switches, more fans, more sheetrock, more tile, carpet, whatever you want, baseboards. It's just more, and that means more money, more labor, more work. Okay, so some of these things I'm stating are clearly obvious, but these are some of the reasons to go tiny, you know, because it is practical. And I love foreign movies, and I especially love it when they show the kitchens or the bathrooms and how they do it elsewhere. And people live in far smaller spaces very efficiently, and I like to see how their layout is and how simple it can be, and works just fine. So we definitely have gone overboard in this country, where homes are way bigger than they used to be, but families have gotten smaller. So there's this thing now where it's just kind of getting a bit ridiculous with how excessive we're being and gluttonous about consuming all this space, you know? Let's see, today I was working on some numbers, and I had a design where I thought comfortably for about 600 square feet. I can do this with tall ceilings, and you can have, see, the thing is storage, okay? Sometimes people think they need more square footage sprawling out, but they need to utilize cubic linear footage and go up. So I do intend to have a stretch of space that is wall-to-ceiling storage with shelving, and it'll be done in a way where it's treated primarily like a wall, okay? So you can kind of arrange furniture around it, but still get to your stuff, and it's all right there. So also you can do a nice little treatment with curtains instead of doors, and it has a soft, kind of more elegant designer look, and it doesn't really hog up room, it's inexpensive, it's easy to install, and it can look really, really pretty if it's done right. In fact, I did this closet behind me with an arch balance at the top. Let's give you a little look. See how I did that? I've actually done a number of those in my house. But yeah, you can, but But you can see how, like, okay, like, I have this chair in front of this closet, and it's not like I'm getting in this closet, like, every day, but I mean, and I normally don't have this chair this close to it. I just put it here to get further away from the camera, but you can see how I can access this just fine, and I'm literally coming through here is touching my hips, and I'm really not that wide. So, if you're tiny, it helps to live in a tiny house, I guess. But yeah, so that's part of my trick, how I'm going to be able to do tiny, is how I'm going to store some of the stuff. So I'm going to treat a stretch as like just, storage, but it's going to be hidden, but accessible and right there. So another thing I think that is interesting is the whole kitchen and bathroom experiences with tiny houses. And I have a galley-style kitchen now that I really, really like, okay? It's one of the most efficient kitchens I've been in, and it's only 8 feet long, but it's 10 feet wide with the counters coming in, and then there's like a 6-foot stretch between it. But see, that could be tightened up to 3 feet very comfortably, 4 feet, ooh, big tiny house kitchen, you know? So I'm going to do a kitchen that's basically 8 by 8. So it'll be smaller than what I have, but it's actually going to be more efficient because I'm going to build some custom cabinets and do things a little different. But for the most part, that's what it is. So it's going to be a smaller kitchen, but more efficient, and even have more counter space. Well, instead of a galley, it might be a horseshoe if I do it at the very, very end of the place. But I'm struggling with that a little because I wanted a shotgun design with entrances on both ends going straight through. So a galley would work better for that, but I could gain more cabinetry if I do a horseshoe shape and then just do a big window there to still have a shotgun effect and for the visual and cross breeze. So I'm hell-bent on a shotgun design going both ways, and I don't want to compromise that. And there's that it creates more space, and your eyes can literally travel through the whole place, or from outside you can see through and then out the other side. And that doesn't make you feel claustrophobic. Also, I'm not doing traditional air conditioning with air ducts. I absolutely hate it. I really like just natural air circulation. I live in South Florida. I've lived without AC in this house for 10 years, so when people say you can't do it, that's a bunch of shit. And I don't even have a shade canopy, but yes, it's hot. This is the worst orientation to the elements for passive solar, because the long side of my house is aiming east and west. And that's another video, but I'm very much into passive solar strategies, and my design is all revolved around that, with the primary windows facing the south and the skinny ends east and west. So the long way facing the south. And I really enjoy this whole process. I mean, a lot of thought goes into some of these homes that are self-sustaining using the passive solar strategies and the techniques and ideas about going off-grid, you know, and they're not just thrown together like cookie-cutter homes, or, you know, with very little thought. This house here is a typical house that it almost feels like it's designed for people that don't like to go outside, and it's really stupid because the primary picture window in the living room overlooks the driveway. I mean, what kind of stupid-ass design is that? And, the window openings, the windows, they don't have as good as airflow, the openings, as you would think. Like, they have openings like this, let's say, and it opens up and down, but you don't even get half of that opening when you open the thing, right? It's more like 1/3 of the actual opening that's actually allowing air to come in. The rest is just all glass and framed in. So I'm definitely getting different styles of windows. I mean, I want that whole thing open, okay? I love the idea of, like, this feeling of living more outside, bringing the outside in, bringing the inside out, and how it will, like, flow. So I'm working on that in my design as well, and wanted actually little porches and balconies on each end, so that galley kitchen would get in the way of that, okay? So, or the horseshoe kitchen, I mean. Yeah, so the galley does offer a little more freedom with that. Okay, so I'm going to wind this down. Thanks for listening. Yeah, it's a dilemma. So if you're considering downsizing and you're also struggling with letting go of some of your big stuff or a bunch of your little stuff, you know, feel free to talk about it, and especially write in if you were able to do it and your experience, you know, what it was like to let go of the stuff, you know, and the process of doing that. Because it's just stuff, right? And it becomes luggage. They can hold us down and bog us down. Just cost us more money, more shit to store, and that means more money. Bigger house, that means bigger property taxes. I'm just so over it all. I'm just done. Okay, so soon I'm going to do a video more about why I want to go off-grid. It's more than just sovereignty and self-sustainment, being totally independent. But I want to get into issues with the chemicals and poison in the city water and problems actually with the electric company. So really I'll be talking about